Yo, what's going on, my print peeps? Thank you for checking back in. For those of you who are new, my name is Dave with Diversity Print, and today we're just going to do a simple one color heat transfer vinyl press. I can't remember if this is CAD cut fashion film or if it's Caesar Easy Weed. I believe it is fashion film, but it presses at 320 degrees, medium pressure for 15 seconds, and it's a hot peel. So as soon as you lift up your press, take off any cover sheet, and then you peel the top clear transfer carrier off immediately. So it is a hot peel. So the reason I'm doing this video is because it's a request by a good buddy. He's doing his own brand and everything, and instead of me screen printing the shirts and shipping him the shirts and stuff like that, he wanted to just kind of do heat transfer vinyl, and then I cut the vinyl for him, pre-cut, and send it to him. And then he wanted to go buy a press so he can press his shirts at his place. So I was down with that, and so this is just to show him, since he's never done it before. I'm going to show the whole process so that he can follow along, and anybody out there who also wants to do heat transfer vinyl, this is how you do a one color press. If you have a ganged up sheet like this, you probably can't tell, but there's one big design on this side and there's three small designs on this side. So before you even weed anything out, you want to cut out your design first. So today we're probably going to do the small one, the left chest. Well, let's cut them all out. So what you're going to need is your transfer or your heat transfer material, scissors, or a large guillotine paper cutter. That'll also work. You'll need a weeding tool. Okay, if you don't have a weeding tool, you can easily go to like Walmart or CVS or something and go get you a dental pick. There is a pointy side, and then there is a dull side, but you kind of want to use the sharp side to peel off the vinyl from the carrier. And then if you have a complicated design, so this is what it looks like on here. Okay, I got the big one on the left and the three on the small ones on the other side. Okay, so unless you absolutely know your design, or if you have other people doing it for you, want to print out your design so that you can have it next to you, or the person who's doing it, who you're having it do the weeding process. You want them, no excuses. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's all peeled away, at least the negative part. And then you can match it up and make sure you have no pieces missing, because once you put it on the press and you press it, it's done for. Now there are things that you can use. There is a vinyl spray that you can get rid of it, but why do that? Do it right the first time, or at least try to, and get it out the door. So that's it. That's pretty much all you're going to need, I believe. So let's go ahead and cut these out first, and then I'll show you. Okay, that's the big one, and then let me cut the small ones out. It's in your best interest to have new scissors or fairly sharp scissors on you. These are old, but these are pretty sharp, and they're just cheap scissors. So here I have the three left chest logos, and here's the big one that's going to go across the back. So cut all your designs out first. You want to weed each one individually, because if you don't use them all the first time and you're going to save them to print shirts later on, you don't want this whole entire sheet. You don't want to weed the entire sheet, because you're going to have a lot of sticky backing left, and it's going to get stuck on things. It's going to get stuck on itself. and you just don't want things falling apart. Now this material does have a pressure sensitive backing, so if you do pick up part of the design, you'll see the cut line. You should be able to see the cut line on the carrier, and you should be able to put that piece back. Use your weeding tool to kind of move it. Keep your fingers and your oils away from the adhesive side, and put the design back onto the carrier and push down, and it should stick. It is a pressure sensitive carrier, so it should stick back pretty good if you put it back into place. If you peel off a part of the design that you shouldn't have. Alright, so we're going to set these three aside, and I'm going to use, well, let's go ahead and get you up close, and I'll even use a dental tool to show you it can be used with a dental tool. But let me get you up close. Alright, so we're going to use the very sharp side. So I just want to grab a corner just where I'm going to grab the material and not the actual plastic part. Alright, so now I'm going to pull away from the design, or pull the negative away. There's a little piece I don't want to forget. Now, unlike like if you're doing decals, like that type of vinyl, especially if you're doing like let's just say Oracal 651, which is the permanent adhesive. If you were to start peeling like this, and part of that stuff that you've peeled off already sticks back on to another part of the decal, it is very difficult to unstick it from each other. So you got to be very careful with that type of decal adhesive. All right, this is just a temporary solution, just until he starts selling them and getting his brand off the ground. I did tell him that I can do screen printed transfers. I have the paper and the powder and all that stuff to do that. So if he ever wants to, he can. We can do that later on, and I can still ship those transfers in the mail. Still be a whole lot lighter than shipping t-shirts through the mail. And then he can do actual screen printed heat transfers. But he just wants something just real quick, and just something simple. And so that's what we're going to give him. So there it is. Let me get all this stuff out the way. Get off me. Alright, so here's how it looks. That one. And here is the printed piece. And so you kind of just want to look at both of them. Make sure you peeled everything out correctly. You know, this one is very intricate. Well, not very intricate, but a lot of it comes off in one peel. There are a couple of ones that peeled off in these tight corners. But to me, it all looks good. Everything is peeled away the way it should be. And now we're ready to go press. So we're going to go heat up our heat press, which actually it's already heated up to 320 Fahrenheit. So let's go ahead and get to the heat press. All right, so we're at 320. Remember, 320 for 15 seconds at medium pressure. And let's go get our shirt. And it is a hot peel. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and release any moisture. Just gonna put it down. You're just trying to get a nice flat surface and you're trying to release any moisture. No need to do a full press. Just the weight of the press on the garment should be good enough or sufficient enough. And another way, if you want to know the center, most of the time it's okay, but we can fold the t-shirt in half. Okay, make sure it's halfway all the way down the shirt. And we could do a simple press. Hold it down for a little while. And so now when we unfold, we have a line down the middle. I don't know if you can see that. I don't have all my shop lights on today. Before I hang that over the back, I'm going to lay the design on there first. Alright, and I want to do it about 3 inches from the nape of the neck. Okay, so 4 of my fingers is about 3 1/4 inches long. So I want to kind of just put it like that, and that's perfect. And that line, this design, I can see the middle of the design here. You can also fold back like this. If you fold it back on itself, it's just the glossy side back to back. You fold it, pinch the top, and you have a nice little mark there where you can see. You want to do the other side like that. Do the same, fold it back on itself and push it. And now you have another center line right there. And I'm just lining them up on the center crease that I created when I folded it and pressed it. So I'm going to go 4 fingers down. That's perfect. And boom. Alright. So it's going to look like that. I use my Teflon sheet just because, and it's a white shirt, even though it's at 320 and it's 100% cotton, I don't take any chances. I'm going to cover it. I always hang over my seams over the edge, like the nape or the neck seam. I always hang it over the edge because you want a nice flat surface. Alright. And so now I'm going to press. Medium pressure, 15 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds is up. Alright, so we take off the Teflon sheet, hot peel. I'm going to fold this up and just put it somewhere. And then I usually get my Teflon sheet again. And I'm going to just do a second press for about 5 seconds. You really don't need to do that, but most people do it for peace of mind, just to make sure that the adhesive drives into the fibers of the t-shirt and it actually grabs. And that's pretty much how it's done. Let's go ahead and put you back and get a good view of this. Okay, this is the back of the shirt. That's about 13 inches tall. I think it's 13. And that's it. It's about 5.5 inches wide, I believe, by like 13 inches tall. So, and that's going about 3 inches down from the nape. and that's how it looks. It's a little cryptic hieroglyphic. So you know what? I guess we're gonna do the front. Let's go ahead and just do the left chest while we're at it. All right. So again, I'm using my dental pick, and I'm going to take away the negative, the stuff I don't need. I'm gonna peel it away. And if it wasn't for these intricate little cuts, that thing would have came off in one piece. But don't worry, when you have to weed yourself, you charge by intricacy. You charge by the difficulty of weeding. If you have to weed it, you have light, medium, and heavy weeding. So always factor that. Figure it out. You have to figure it out yourself, and figure what's light, what's medium, what's heavy, and how much you're going to charge for that. Okay, so there it is. All right, and it looks weeded good, right? Did I miss anything? Nope, I didn't miss anything, and I didn't pull any part of the design off that I shouldn't have. So now we're good to go. Okay, so I don't have any of those tools, like I don't even know what they're called, but the ones that center your logos and stuff like that for like left chest and everything. I still have my center line down the middle, and so like I said, 4 fingers for me is about 3.25 inches from top to bottom. So I usually start the logo right at the bottom of my pinky, and then I go over and I put the center of the design, but I'll line it up at the seam of the neck and the shoulder, wherever that meets right there, the neck seam and the shoulder seam, I guess. I go straight down, and that is usually approximately about 4 inches from the center, usually. So if my fingers are 3.25, I start the design right there. Okay, this is the center, this is the 3.5 down, and then I come over here and I go straight across, and I put the center of my design directly in line with the shoulder, straight up and down. Okay, and this goes over a little bit more, just like that. You do not want to go too far to the inside, or it's going to be like in your armpit area. So you don't want to go too far over to the edge. Okay, I've been doing this for a while, so I can usually eyeball it until my eyes start going on me. Then I'll get one of those or make one myself or something like that. That's how I do it. You go buy those tools if you need it until you're comfortable doing it without it. But I'm a lot faster doing it this way. And they come out perfect 98% of the time. And you can't tell by the naked eye how off it is. If it's off 1/8 of an inch or anything like that, 3/8, you won't be able to tell. But nothing's perfect, not even the screen printing. I mean, you don't put on a shirt exactly 100% of the time on the palette or on the platen. So it may be off just a little bit here and there. Okay, so let's go ahead and push this forward, get the seam off the edge, and we'll put that like that. Okay, and let's do for 15 seconds. Again, I'm not trying to teach you bad practices or anything like that. I'm just showing you what I do. And for the requests, Jose, you know, if he's going to want to do it. Because I know he's not going to have those tools. So he's probably going to do it just like how I did it just now, as far as lining up his left chest logos. And then I'm going to go ahead and get Teflon sheet. Again, you really don't have to do this. If you don't have a Teflon sheet, use a thin piece of material or a cloth, very thin, just so that heat can transfer through. You don't want to put something thick on there because you want that heat to go through to make sure that adhesive goes through those fibers, goes through the fibers of the shirt. Okay, and that is it. So let's go ahead and go back and we'll show you how it looks. Okay. And there it is. Left chest logo. Tell me if I don't know how good I'm gonna represent this as a left chest logo, but I don't know. Does that look like a left chest logo? I mean, you can see my chest, I think, through it, maybe. I don't want to put this on because it's going to look like I got a baby shirt on or something. This extra large is too small for me. So that's pretty much it. That's where the left chest logo is, right here. This is my chest, right here. Okay? And that's perfect. Alright? So my fingers are 3 1/4 inches about, and so I go down 3 1/4. Okay, and I put the logo right above that, and I make sure I got my center line, and I go about 4 inches. The center of the design usually lines up right here, straight all the way down. Okay, it lines up straight in the middle. I can't really see on the screen, but we'll see when I post it online if I'm actually correct or not. But there it is, and it's the straight center of the design. I think that's the center. Alright, so hopefully, Jose, this helped you out, buddy, and anybody else who's watching. Hopefully this was informative for you. Hopefully it helps you out. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Actually, it's pretty nice. I wish I would have done it on the 2X, because I would have kept this and wore it. But yeah, oh well. Maybe I'll just have to lose some weight and get into an XL. All right. So I believe this is CAD cut fashion film, 320 degrees, medium pressure. I wouldn't use an iron. If you're going to use an iron, use it on this, on the small one, because you want the entire heat platen to touch the design. You don't want to be doing this in parts. All right. You don't want to heat press this. I mean, iron this and iron this, and no, it's not a heat transfer. You may be able to get away with that with heat transfers, but not heat transfer vinyl, because if you put too much heat for too long in one area, it will start shrinking on you, and it's gonna warp and look bad. So if you do it with an iron, put as much pressure as you can. I'm not talking about standing on top of the iron, but put some good pressure on the iron and keep it there for 15 to 18 seconds. Still put a Teflon sheet or a thin, like this is a polyester shirt. If you have a polyester shirt that you don't wear, make sure it's pure white. Don't put any kind of design, because that is sublimation, even though sublimation reacts at 400 degrees. Still, just make sure it's like a white polyester. You don't want to chance anything of transferring the inks of sublimation onto your shirt. And that's it. Make sure you peel it hot. So yeah, leave a comment down below, subscribe, hit that little bell. It helps out a lot. Alright, and until next time, I hope you're having a good day printing. Peace.